Hey you! Are you having a hard time on YouTube? The video's getting flagged for no reason? Your content is too violent? YouTube is just screwing you over in every way possible? Well boy, have I got some great news, cause it just got worse! Damn it, I used another dead meme twice in a row. So YouTube updated their community guidelines policy. Now, do we think they did a good job with it and fixed some stuff, or completely screwed us over like they have the past, I don't know how many times? Let's take a second to think. They fixed it, thank you, YouTube. Very cool.
Shut your fucking mouth!
That was a joke. Of course they didn't fix it because YouTube fixed it. I'm sorry, DX Racer. I didn't mean to hurt you. Hit me up with that sponsorship, DX Racer. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna happen because I'm relevant. I forgot. So guys, it's that time of the year again where YouTube just kind of goes on these crazy rampages of like waging war on content creators for absolutely no reason, mainly being actually that they just disagree with them or they don't like what's on the site, and the fact that YouTube has become so corporate now, they don't think that it's gonna make them the most money. YouTube has decided to update their community guidelines and terms of services, and unsurprisingly, it's horrible. Now, I think it was kind of expected that we'd be getting some sort of update with this after the whole Bird Box challenge crap. Thanks, Jake Paul, you ruined YouTube. But maybe this was something that was, a long time coming and they were just kind of waiting on it, waiting for an excuse, which actually would not surprise me. Just as time goes on, YouTube moves more and more away from, actual freedom of speech to this kind of censorship, safe haven crap that, is ridiculous and laughable. And basically, if you don't agree with YouTube and you post something that goes against their agenda, bye-bye, you're off the platform. I mean, we saw this with Monkey Jones, which also I think has an effect in this. He was literally deplatformed, and everything that they quote-unquote, deplatformed him for was basically proven wrong in a video he uploaded to his Vimeo account. And even though he was proven wrong and there was a huge amount of community outcry, I'm almost 100% positive this guy's never going to get his channel back, and he's, gonna either have to resort to streaming or just quit, video making, content creation altogether. Which, if you honestly think about it just for a second, that's incredibly sad. This guy has worked for years on building up, a brand for himself, working his ass off. I mean, YouTube is a very hard thing to do, and I'm not even, big. I've only been doing this for 10 months, but I get the effort, I get the time you gotta put in, and the fact that this guy, just had all of his work, everything he's built up, literally his career just erased like that, and not even for a valid reason either, literally for no reason, is not only really sickening to see, but it's also very, very scary. Who's to say they can't do this to my channel or somebody else's channel? Especially now that since the rules are so much more strict and Mumkey was actually removed before, this new content change, channels that aren't even as edgy as his could start getting, demonetized to deplatformed to whatever. Another thing I just want to talk about real quick is Alex Jones.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay! Crap!
Now, I'm not joking around. I'm not trying to defend Alex Jones. I'm not saying I agree with his views or what he talks about, but I'm sure most of you know Alex Jones was essentially erased completely from the internet. This wasn't just a YouTube thing. This was a complete wipeout of Alex Jones all across the internet. And whether you, like I said, agree with Alex Jones or not, this is just mass censorship to an insane degree. Alex Jones technically was not doing anything that should have got him banned. He wasn't uploading videos of people getting their heads cut off or, crazy stuff like that. Nothing was breaking the community guidelines. YouTube just decided to remove him, and so did Twitter, so did Facebook. It was a huge thing. And I know Alex Jones is funny to laugh about, joke about, and a lot of people were laughing and crap about this. I was really sad to see that this was not taken as seriously as the Monkey Jones situation. Because this is scary. This is very scary. If YouTube's just resorting to completely removing people without giving reasons, just screw you, bye, you're gone. then I think this is a huge concern for like 90% of the platform. Because let's be honest here, YouTube's only getting more, crazy with this kind of content stuff. So content that may have been fine, 2016, 2017, maybe even 2018, might not be fine for 2019. But anyways, what are these changes? We haven't even necessarily talked about them yet. So there are basically two big changes. There is now a harmful or dangerous content section on the community guidelines, and there is also a violent or graphic content section. And I'm sure some of you are probably saying like, J-Snake, this stuff has not only been being monitored for such a long time now, but it makes sense to have. And yes, I understand that, but this is the biggest problem that I'm having with it, and that is that it is not, clear on what actually is considered violent or graphic content or harmful or dangerous content. Now we'll start off with harmful or dangerous content. Now obviously I get stuff like the Bird Box challenge, or like some crazy like suicide challenge or some crap like that. Yeah, that counts, I get that. But what about pranks where like maybe like we have an electric shock kind of thing in it, oh, you get a question wrong, you get shocked. Like, does that count? Because technically the people that are partaking in that are getting hurt, and I mean, I don't know how YouTube looks at it, but that could count and fall under harmful or dangerous content. Now I get that it's like saying hurt badly, like bad stuff, but we know YouTube loves to deviate so far away from what they have said in the rules, and they kind of like to just exaggerate things that what we don't know. We need examples. You need to be so much more clear with this community guidelines page, because it is absolute garbage as it stands. Now the biggest problem I have with the violent or graphic content is the same thing. It's just where's the line drawn? Like, what is considered violent or graphic content? Now in my opinion, out of the two changes, I think this is the more detrimental one, mainly because it pretty much affects like a gigantic portion of the YouTube community. Now I'm going to talk more about like where I'm from, my kind of thing, and the video games, like violent video games, Call of Duty, Battlefield, like stuff like that. They have guns and thumbnails, they have guns and videos, shooting, people dying, there's blood, or games like Doom, like you're ripping heads off, or The Last of Us, you're slicing throats, like whatever the case may be, that is pretty much considered violent or graphic content. So is this kind of stuff going to be demonetized, or does it have a chance to be demonetized if enough people are reporting, or if someone reports it, some idiot at YouTube's like, oh my god, I gotta demonetize this video? Is that gonna not only just lose the revenue on the video, but is that going to start affecting people's channels, giving them strikes and everything? Like, it's just ridiculous. There is no line shown, and even if there was, this is ridiculous. Like, video games should not be considered violent or graphic content. Well, I mean, I guess technically they should, but I'm saying to actually get banned off of YouTube, this should not be, in consideration at all. And I'm sure some of you are probably like, oh, you're just talking out of your ass, like, oh my god. And actually, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I actually have myself experienced a kind of, not necessarily demonetization, but I got denied. I actually made a channel like trailer video back in the day, a few months ago, like 8 months ago, and I actually was gonna run it as an ad, I was gonna put some money in it just to get the channel noticed and out there. And in that channel trailer, I had the clip from The Last of Us, about the bloaters on the like final missions of the game, and it was basically me getting like ripped apart by a bloater. Well, you don't really see it, but like you see the bloater start to like rip my skull like this. And that video actually got denied for being approved for an ad because of graphic content. And I actually had to go in and change that and remove that part and replace it with something else. So this was already being done. I already actually got technically censored, quote unquote, for a video game. Now I know this is an ad and this is, I guess, a little bit different, but obviously YouTube from the time of 8 months ago, which doesn't seem like a long time ago, to now has gotten 20,000 times more strict. So where's this line gonna be drawn? Am I gonna have to worry about my previous videos because they have guns in the thumbnail, or my Last of Us videos because there's people getting like absolutely brutally murdered? Like, where's this line gonna be drawn? This is actually, I think, the biggest problem facing YouTube right now, more than even anything like Article 13, which I think is really ironic that YouTube is against, considering that I think Article 13, if I had to choose between that or YouTube's new kind of crazy policies, I'd rather have Article 13. I mean, honestly, the way YouTube's going is just ridiculous. Now I'm really hoping that more attention gets brought to this, and you know it's getting definitely talked about by a lot of people. I'm really hoping some change can come, because honestly this is seriously very scary for YouTube. This is something we should definitely be fearful of, especially those of us who aren't necessarily completely like PG or child friendly and do, you know, post stuff like video games. But anyways guys, that's really all I wanted to say. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about, and you know, we can raise something, you know, to go against this and make a, you know, make our voice heard. But honestly, you know, who knows what'll happen. This could just be all wrong. I could just be blowing this out of proportion, and I could just be paranoid. Regardless, I know this was a more serious video, at least, you know, toward the middle and end of it, but you know, I think this is something, like I said, that needed to be talked about. Regardless though, I hope you all have a great day, and peace.